Hey guys, glad you stopped by. So today, I thought we would try something crazy. We are going to do a banana cobbler, right? Bananas, of all things. I saw this on Facebook and thought, holy cow, this is like the best of summer and fall. All in one. I like cobbler, I like bananas. So let's give it a try. And it sounds good, it's pretty straightforward. Very basic ingredients. I also believe this to be almost AI generated. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong, but I don't think I am. Picture, definitely AI generated, but that's all right. We're gonna give it a shot anyhow. I like AI generated things, and normally I can tell, I've been doing this long enough now, I can tell when something's gonna work and not work, which really aggravates me with a lot of recipes I see online. Especially the ones that are AI generated, because they don't give you all the details all the time and they don't always work, which is aggravating if you're new, but that's all right. We are going to try and rock this out. If you are new to my channel, this is your first video, I hope you get something out of this. Maybe consider checking out some of my other videos. If you are returning or one of our new subscribers, welcome back and thank you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for sure. Comments, always welcome. All of that keeps us out in the algorithm, helps the channel to grow. We're always looking to hit, at the moment, that 5,000 mark. But we want to be a big community of good neighbors, right? Doing good things, sharing, talking, communicating, which is what this channel is about, communicating through food and eating good food, right? But that being said, think before you type with comments. I don't mind disagreeing with someone, myself or others. Just think before you type and be polite. I will give you all your measurements in tablespoons, teaspoons, cups, along with milliliters and grams. That way, no matter where you're at, you can play along. So that being said, why don't we hop on down here to the counter and we're gonna get started on this delightful little dish. All right, hold on for me 1 second. Okay, so we're down here at the counter. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put our oven on 375, that's Fahrenheit, or you can do 190 Celsius, depending on where you're at. And then we are going to take, I'm using a non-stick pan. It's a 9x9, 23 by 23 centimeter pan, but if you're not using a non-stick, I would go ahead and butter it and flour it, so that way you know none of this is going to stick to your pan as we go. But it's cobbler, so I mean it's not like it's going to be cake-like and we're cutting squares or anything like that, but still, just to help you stick, not stick, I would do butter. I may even do some butter on this myself here in a minute. But once we got our oven on and starting, and we've got our pan prepped and taken care of if necessary, we're going to need a medium bowl, because we're going to go ahead and make our the topping first, right? The cobbler topping first. So in this bowl, we are going to take a half a cup, yes, sorry, a half cup of self-rising flour, right? Now, let's say, Brian, you don't have self-rising flour. Don't run to the store and buy some. Hands down. I have learned that self-rising flour is nothing more than 100 grams, or we'll just say a cup of flour to a teaspoon, 100 grams to 4 grams of baking powder, or pretty much 1 cup to 1 teaspoon of baking powder to all-purpose flour. That way you can just mix those together. I literally just took 200 grams worth of all-purpose flour, and I added 8 grams of baking powder to it and gave it a really good whisk. I mean, like a really good whisk, to make sure it was really incorporated. That way you don't have to go out and buy self-rising flour. Now, if you have some, it's just simply a half a cup, 60 grams worth of self-rising flour. But if you don't have any, just go ahead and make you some. Why not? It would be cool. So we're gonna go ahead and put that in first. Then we're gonna go ahead, and I've got 1 cup of, a half a cup of ground toasted pecans. Well, heavily chopped up. They're not ground, but heavily chopped up pecans, and they are toasted. That way we get the oils coming out of them. If you need to know how to toast, it's 350 for about 5 minutes. You'll start to smell them, and then take them out to cool. So we got a half a cup, 75 grams worth of crushed pecans, or heavily chopped pecans. We're gonna add 1 cup, and it is 110 grams, 1 cup, 110 grams of old-fashioned oats. There are 3 different kinds of oats on the grocery shelves, at least here in the US. You have quick oats, which are super thin, and that's kind of what oatmeal's made out of, instant oatmeal's made out of. You have old-fashioned oats, which are a little thicker, a little bigger. That's what we're using here. And then you have steel oats, which are like old school oats that you have to soak damn near overnight. So you want to make sure you get old-fashioned. You can use probably quick oats with this too, but old-fashioned oats, 1 cup, 110 grams. Throw that in there. And then I've got 3/4 cup, 165 grams of light brown sugar, and that's 3/4 cup packed. Okay, you want that packed down into your measuring cups when you measure it. In your measuring cup. Now, I don't know about you, but I know I don't own a 3/4 cup measuring cup, so a half cup and a 1/4 cup, but make sure they're packed down, or 165 grams. We're gonna go ahead and throw that in there. And then the last thing we're gonna put in is a half a cup, 114 grams of butter, and this is softened. It's been sitting out for about 20 minutes, and I have it cubed. And when I was getting everything together, which prepping things to get ready is important, I cut it up and I just stuck it back in the fridge until I was really ready to pull it out. Today it's humid, it's warm. I don't know about where you live, but it's been hot forever. Trying not to use the air conditioning a whole lot because it costs money and the price of utilities has gone through the roof. So I just pulled this out, 20 minutes, softened, cubed. We're gonna go ahead and get that in there. As soon as I get that out of the bowl and into the pot, so to speak. There we are. So now I have a couple different options here. I am going to use my gloved hands, and I am just going to kind of mix it together with my hands. But when it comes to the butter, I want to be able to, squeeze it through, right? So I'm squeezing the butter as I go, and I'm incorporating it into the oats and the brown sugar and whatnot. Now you can also use a fork. You don't have to necessarily use your hand. I just personally like the feel of the squishing of the butter and getting it all together, and I feel it gives me just a hair more control. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this all mixed up, and then we can move on. All right, so we've got this. Our topping is now done. And see how we've got like a nice little ball, but it's crumbly. That's kind of what we're looking for, right? And like I said, you could also do this with a fork just by mashing it until you get the same consistency. That way we've got our topping. So now we've got to move on to our filling, which, let me set this over here. The oven's probably not the best place to set that at. It'll melt. But our filling is really pretty straightforward. Go ahead and get my glove off here. And it just requires another bowl. I'm just using the same bowl that we just got done mixing up our topping, and I just simply transferred that to a smaller bowl. Need a bigger bowl to get it mixed up after that. Transfer it over, use the same bowl again. So in this bowl, we are going to put 1 cup, 200 grams of all-purpose sugar, just like such. 1 cup, 200 grams, or 1 cup, 125 grams of self-rising flour again, and it's a little more than 120 normal grams for regular all-purpose flour because you got the baking powder in it. And then to that, we are going to simply add 2 teaspoons, 8 grams, 8 milliliters of banana extract, which you don't have to add, but I want that extra banana flavor in there. And then I'm going to add a half a cup, 1 stick, 114 grams worth of unsalted butter melted, just like such. All my butter is unsalted. I use unsalted butter for everything. I want to be able to control that salt no matter what I'm doing, cooking, baking, grilling, whatever. And then we are going to add 1 cup, 240 milliliters of room temperature whole milk. And I suppose you could use 2% too, but I would really think you would want the fat in that. And then we're just going to mix this up until it is a batter. All right, so we've got our batter mixed together, right? A little runny, which is okay, I guess. And it's, you know, it's got little, it's not completely super fine mixed. If you have like kind of like brownies, you know how you've got that little bit of extra something in there that didn't quite mix, that's pretty much where we're at. I think that's okay. I don't see a problem with it. So now we're gonna go ahead and take our pan, and I'll grab a spatula here, and we're gonna pour our batter in there, just like such. And then, as soon as we get that in, we are going to, all right, we got our batter in there. Next thing we're gonna layer on there, I sliced up 4 bananas. No particular size, but they all ended up being about, one of the strings on the side, but they all ended up being anywhere 1/8, 1/4 inch of thickness. And we're just gonna take those and we're just gonna put them in our batter here. Yeah, it's 360 grams worth of sliced bananas. But that's gonna vary depending on the size of your banana. These were just average size, not giant but not small bananas. So, but anyhow, sliced up 360 grams worth, 4 bananas, and going into the batter. Okay, so we got our bananas in there, and there is where we're at so far. And I'm not gonna say I may have accidentally got some of that batter on my fingers and tried it, but I may have. And it may taste phenomenal. So we got that on. Next thing we're going to do is take our crisp, and the bananas, I would wait to cut them to the very last minute, or they're going to, well, I mean, people will tell you they'll turn brown and blah blah blah, but brown is okay because you're going to put it in the oven. But the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get our crisp topping, and we're just going to put it on top, and we're going to cover it so it's, you know, even. And it should cover, I'm going to guess, the whole thing evenly. Okay, so toppings on, looking good. We'll go ahead and get this in the oven. Remember, 375 degrees, 190 degrees Celsius. Center rack, center of the oven, center of the universe, its universe. And then I'm going to go ahead and set my timer. We're going to bake this for 45 to 50 minutes. The things that said to look for on it were your crisp topping, you know, your cobbler topping should be a nice golden brown. You know, if it starts to get too dark though, for your liking, you put a piece of foil over the top of it. That'll keep it from being in direct heat. It'll make it indirect heat, and it won't brown anymore. It'll just continue to cook. And our filling should be set, which means that there should be absolutely no jiggle in it. And in theory, we should be able to stick a toothpick in it, or a knife, a metal knife, and it should come out with nothing on it, but we'll see. So when I come back, we'll pull it out of the oven, give it a once look over, and talk about what to do next. All right, see you here in just 1 second. Okay, timer's going off. Let's go ahead and get that turned off, and let's give her a check to see how we are going, since we don't really have any real rules to follow other than a nice golden brown top. But there is that, and it does have a nice golden brown top. That hands down. So what we'll do next is I'm gonna go ahead and get my glove off here. I'm gonna take a fork, just a regular, a knife, a butter knife, and I'm gonna go ahead and stick it in, and I would assume, yeah, it's gonna come out pretty clean. Now, not completely clean, but it's not battery. And I say not completely clean because the more I thought about it, there's bananas in there. And so it's not like a normal cake. And I'm pretty sure I hit a banana, but we've got the golden brown tops coming around from the edges. It is for as much as it's a cobbler, that is kind of a cake-like batter. So I'm gonna say we're good. I will consider that crumb. And for the most part, it came out clean. I didn't see any batter on it at any rate. So we'll go ahead and turn our oven off. I'm gonna let this cool for about a half hour. That way, it doesn't melt my face, but we want to serve this warm. Not necessarily, I mean, room temperature would be fine too, but since it's a cobbler, cobblers are traditionally served warm, so I'm gonna let this cool down enough that it's not gonna melt our face, and when I come back, we'll give it a try, see how it turns out. All right, hold on for me 1 second. Okay, so we have let her cool down enough that she is handleable. I can handle it, you know, handle worthy, but it's still warm. I can still feel it on the bottom. So now we're gonna give it a try, right? Because like I said, best served warm is what the recipe said, so we're gonna give it a shot. Now, the only thing that was like added to this, and it was kind of a recommended, you know, or a suggested, was the banana extract. You don't have to put that in there. I just thought, yeah, if it's recommended, let's give it a try. And as always, I'm gonna take a corner piece because that's what I like. And we're going to have to scoop up the stuff left behind. Yeah, a lot of people don't like the corner pieces. What do you guys think? I like the corners, the edges, things like that. That's got the crispiness to it. That's kind of what I mean. It's just something I enjoy, but some people don't. But there we are, right there. I think we are looking good. And like I said, it's very cake-like. Yeah, in the center there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but pecan on the loose. But let's give it a try and see how worthy we are of this, what seems to be a delicious recipe. I know the house smells really good. It smells like bananas, it smells like cobbler, you know, it smells like fall and kind of summer. I don't know, but anyhow, let's give it a try. Yeah. That, my friends, tastes as good as you feel when you win a prize on the causeway of the state fair. It just makes you feel good. And it tastes good. And it really tastes really good. I didn't think it would taste bad, but I mean, you never know, right? You just never know. I just knew it sounded good, and I was right. It tastes as good as it sounded. I think that the banana extract definitely is a must. Yeah, that's that is entertainingly good, hands down. I'm gonna say definitely give this a try. You're not gonna be disappointed. That is really, really good. I think, I'll tell you what would be good on this as you serve it. A chocolate sauce or a caramel would be absolutely delightful. Just drizzle it on top of this. I think would be amazing. Or heated up peanut butter, drizzle it on like we did with the peanut butter and jelly cake a couple weeks back. You could do that, peanut butter drizzled on top of it, or a chocolate, or a caramel, or all three. That would be amazing. But just as it sits, it's amazing. Give this a try, for sure. Give this a try. Let me know if you do down in the comments below, or pop on Facebook and let me know over there. I actually posted this on Facebook, the recipe on Facebook. I think you will be incredibly happy if you do try this. Yeah, I can't think of a reason not to. But anyhow, I don't know what we're doing next week, if anything. Week after, I don't know what we're gonna. I never know what we're gonna get into, right? But we're gonna get into something all the same. But until the next time we meet, I love you. I love you very much, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Tell somebody else you love them and love them very much. They may need to hear it. It's gonna make them smile and feel good anyway. It's gonna make you feel good and smile to tell them, I guarantee it. And if you make them some of this banana cobbler, I guarantee they're gonna grin ear to ear, and it's gonna lead to an afternoon conversation. And, you know, there's enough there for sure to invite the neighbors, maybe a couple friends over. I don't know, maybe you give a piece to the mailman. Couple walking down the street, who knows? Possibilities are endless, but you'll definitely make friends with this one all the same. So until next time I see you, I love you, and I will see you then. All right? See you later. Bye-bye.